Another thing that people might be wondering, I'm not going to rally. I actually just booted up the game to do this. You don't need a rally flag. You'll get enough ammo as it goes. And because we're not going for speed run, and we're not going for high score, we don't need to clear out enemies quickly. So we can accumulate the heavy over the course of the run. So the first thing that I always look for in these Nightfalls is, what are we running? Right, so I know that this is now the Fallen variant. And we're going to have our Cabal over here and the Fallen here. What this means, though, for the entirety of the strike is when we get outside, there's also going to be Fallen, which means my positioning needs to change a little bit differently as we go out. So we'll just nice and cleanly clear the room.
All the paths to the rest of the base are shut tight.
And we'll get ready to go outside.
I'll take care of that.
First thing we'll see when we get out here is there is a mine. We're going to want to blow that up. And then here is where a bunch of Fallen are going to spawn. The two big ones that we want to worry about are the yellow bars. This is a scenario where maybe a heavy works in your favor. Remember momentum. Mountaintop, 2 quick shots, and the Thresher is gone. We'll get a little empowering buff. Finish those guys off. Okay, so now we have this cluster of Cabal. We just want to deal with them incrementally. We don't want to overextend ourselves. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky because of the Fallen variant. Especially when you're doing a high score, there will be Vandal snipers that spawn along here. And they always, without fail, catch me off guard. And, oh no, I thought they'd already spawned. So here we go, new spawns are coming out of that door, and there are our snipers. Should probably go find some primary ammo. And yeah, we're just clearing everything out. We always want to have an escape plan if things go wrong. Right, so typically in this area, right, if I get overwhelmed, you can always run back there for cover.
There's a high concentration of solar energy over there.
Do that right now. So it just lets us catch a breather, then we can regroup. So the area is cleared out, we can proceed to the next area. Alright, so this is the other variant that you can get at the beginning. This is the all Cabal version. This is the easier one in my opinion, less shields to worry about, and if you get here fast enough, these guys will all be clustered right there. But same thing as before, nothing's changed. We're just clearing out all these guys. And the real difference will be the outside encounter, which is also, I would say, the easier variant to accomplish.
Did you shoot up a flare?
Everything will be in front of us. The only difference really is the snipers at the beginning. So nothing comes out of this door in this variant. Still just want to take care of the Thresher. And then I like to run immediately to the back, take care of the 2 snipers. So we'll finish those guys off. Work our way back there. New spawn has just come in. We take out a big chunk of them there. And and then work my way back to the beginning of the strike.
There's a high concentration of solar energy over there.
And then from here, same thing. Just slowly but surely take care of all the ads. And once we clear that out, business is as usual to progress to the next area.
You were right.
So this is where things are going to be a little bit, we're going to get a little adventurous here.
Is this what being brave means for you, Guardians?
We'll dunk this. And I'll show you the speedrun route, and then we'll backtrack. So after you've dunked for the speedrun, you would run up here. I messed it up, but right here is where they spawn. Quick clear, and then once you kill those, the door opens here. But we'll backtrack for fun and just clear these guys out. And I'll even show you how I would do it if I was, if we weren't speedrunning. So I would typically come back here after dunking, and this is where I would regroup for the rest of the fight. So like I said, everywhere I go, I like to have an escape plan. So if we're back here, right, this is where the primary set of ads will be fighting. We can always run back in here, or run anywhere back there to regroup. So like right there, we took a lot of damage. Just run back here, let momentum do its work. We can swing back around. Want to get Recluse's perk procced. And now we can lay into this captain. So, we have a bunch of heavy. We have a brick pack there. So I know that it's okay to use this. I'm not wasting anything. We run back, pick up that heavy. Alright, so now we'll go on to the rest of this strike. Here we are going to skip a little things because they're essentially not necessary. We'll clear these guys out up here. But this upcoming area we can run by pretty easily. And if you can't, I recommend focusing on this pathing to get past it. It's, for just a regular clear, it's unnecessary to kill all the ads. So, always work on making your life easier than it needs to be. That's not quite what I meant. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. But so we're just going to go over here. We'll jump up here. Find this little crevice. And basically, as you'll see, we're bypassing this entire area. We'll come up here, we can spawn our sparrow. Then we'll move right along to the next area.
We're inside the ship again. Zahn can't be far now.
Could be some really weird defenses in there. Not just plain
So first objective is we're going to want to pull a lever up here. This is the Cabal version, I believe. Oh, we'll just clear out some of these guys back here. Always be aware that there is the tank. That tank will one-shot you. Always have an internal timer in your head with these tanks. Every, 5 to 10 seconds you should be moving to a different location. We'll activate that. And we got a good amount of ammo. We'll just go ahead and take care of this tank. So now we don't have to worry about it. I will say I've been running pretty low on primary ammo this run. Not quite sure what that's all about. The other thing I find a lot of people make a mistake of is they try to get a little too aggressive when they don't need to be. And they stay very static in their movement. One of the biggest things to overcoming like the barrier of doing things solo is your movement. A lot of ads are very easy to read and dodge. And so by just keeping moving, you can avoid a lot of that damage. So we're burning through all of our ammo because there's no primary, which baffles me. So we'll grab a little bit of primary here. And you see, I'm just dancing around the Centurions. There's really nothing to be feared as long as you keep moving. The moment you stop, though, right? So the moment you stand here and try to just face them down while they're doing their attack, like, he's gonna do a lot of damage to me right now. See? If I just stood there, I'm dead. But if you stay moving, you let momentum do its work for you. You're really not in a whole bunch of danger. So here I'll show you a quick little speedrun trick. We'll activate that, and we'll go under this platform.
Another tank.
We'll jump here.
Another tank on the elevator.
And if you aim from that front leg to the back leg, you should one-shot the tank. So the important guy here is that yellow bar. See, and there you go. A good example of I'm in trouble. Oh, would you look at that? They bullied me off. Well, that's alright. And while it might not look quote-unquote pretty, pretty is not important when it comes to getting a clear. Just completing the run is what matters. So what we're doing here is we're in a good position. We want to farm for some ammo, maybe get another brick of heavy. That's what I'm going for, maybe some more primary. And now we're pretty much stocked back up on ammo.
I like this place.
So I got the Fallen variant of this one, so I'll show you how we would walk through here. There's no Cabal up here right away, so you can quickly jump up and grab the interact button. Same thing as before, if you have the ammo, take care of the tank. The biggest thing here is that there's snipers, so there's sniper shanks lined up all around the area. And you just kind of want to dance around, poke at all the enemies, and just make sure that you're behind cover. Because there are a bunch of them. One of the ways you can work around that is to go this way. And what we'll basically do is we'll want to jump up here. Take care of these guys. We'll move in real quick. Take care of these snipers. Now what's going to happen now is a new spawn is going to happen along with the Cabal in the back. So you just kind of want to back off and retreat. I like to regroup on the Cabal side. You can always use the explosions to our advantage because we're not going for points. So this is where we really need to be tricky. Not tricky. Be careful. This place gives me a lot of problems in like high scores. There's a bunch of high damage enemies, so I like to just kind of work my way back in here. And then from here, work my way out. I don't think that this is a bad, like a bad time to use your heavy. Just get a quick heal going as we approach this area. The snipers are really the main priority here. You really want to take care of those guys. Ooh, something's behind me. So that was a little sloppy. I probably wouldn't have hung around this area too much. A good spot is back here, especially with the tank isn't spawned. Right, this is a good spot to bob and weave because you can always escape out this way. And you have the open area down there. So from here, business as usual, interact. I like to always do this skip. I don't think it's detrimental in any way. It puts you in good position to quickly clear the tank. So tank's gone. We're in the same spot that we were for the last run. Clear that out, and the dogs spawn. Then we're back to square one. The other thing to notice for this run specifically is we're not too worried about the timer either. 15 minutes is the point cutoff, is where you'll start to lose points. 18 minutes is where you'll no longer gain points. But since we're just looking for a clear, we don't really care about the time. We just take our time here, make sure that we stay alive.
Zahn is here.
And the flamethrower. Is he using the flamethrower?
Yes.
I hate those guys. A full magazine. So Zahn is going to spawn these flame turrets. The flame turrets are what get him to go away. So once you've destroyed them, he leaves. The important thing here is we don't ever want to progress an area where our fallback zone is dangerous. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in a couple seconds here. So the next area is to run up there. There's a couple ways we can do it. We can go up here, right? We could have gone down underneath. But remember, every time that you progress, you always want to have a fallback zone where you can retreat and regain health. You never want where you're going, right? So let's say I'm right here. I'm a bad spot, right? If I had left all these guys alive, they would have killed me as I turned around. So it seems self-explanatory, and it is, but it's just keeping an eye on your surroundings and understanding where you're fighting. So again, here, see, these guys have position on me. They can do a lot of damage. But fallback area is just around here. We can run, get our health back, jump up when we're ready, and easy. Alright, so we'll get the interact. Cabal drop pod will fall in. Don't make the mistake where you get crushed. And you'll have to kill about 4 more Cabal. You can just throw a grenade and finish them off. Oh, well, not that guy. Now that guy. You also see we have our super back, so it wasn't a big deal that we used it earlier. It kept us alive, and we're still in a good position for the boss. And it's looking like we'll still get a sub 15 clear, which shows that no matter how casual you are, these things are still pretty attainable if you put the time in. So we have time here because he's going to put his little minions up. And 2 more of these, and we're done. One thing to note here, oh, look at that clan rewards. These guys will stay up, so you will have to still finish them off. It won't affect your clear, you'll still get the clear. Oh, would you look at that? We got the Sparrow. So yeah, those are the basics. This is probably going to be a terrible video, very rough around the edges. But I've always wanted to do one of these, just kind of give people a walkthrough on how to go about doing solos. places you can improve upon. I might make a more general video in the future, but we'll see. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think, and if there's anything specific that you'd like to see for this week.